If you're a business owner leveraging LinkedIn outreach to get more appointments and ultimately clients, but you don't know what opening lines or messages will get replies and ultimately land as booked appointments, in this video, I'm going to be sharing my expertise on the last hundreds of thousands of DMs that I've sent out and the top really 5 messages that have gotten me not only more replies, but also great conversations that ultimately led to clients. So I'm going to be sharing a beautiful aesthetic Google Doc that's going to outline my top 5 opening message. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so here's the unique, aesthetic, state-of-the-art Google document. And to kick it off, we're going to start with number 1, notice and curiosity opening line message. It's a very concise, it's very simple and plain, easy to read, and it gets a lot of responses because of it. So all you have to do is just mention and acknowledge their world, their company, and what they do, whether they are the ops manager or the CEOs themselves. Just talk about like, hey, I noticed you're a growing blank company right now. I was curious how you're handling whatever problem you and your service are looking to solve. So you can say curious on how you're handling outbound right now, because that's what I do. I talk about outreach. And so this is an easy message to get back where people say, yeah, right now we do a lot of cold calling. We do a little bit of emails and a bit of LinkedIn. What is it that you do? That's typically the response that they're going to throw back is ask, what about you? Or how can I help you? And then that's where we transition to talking about our service and how we can help them do more, better, or just simply improve their outreach. Okay, so that's the notice plus curiosity hook right there. It's a great one. Again, super concise and easy to follow through. So now we get into number 2, which is trigger events and question. So this one, you just have to be really up to date with the niche in the market, especially for example in real estate. You want to know how the economy is affecting interest rates and so on and so forth. So this is where you want to be really ingrained into your market and talk about certain things, whether it be AI, whether it be about policies or the economy itself, or certain regulations for medical, for example. But in this case, I just simply say like, hey, I saw that ChatGPT 5 was recently released recently. Most companies at your stage struggle with, to use it for outreach and get qualified appointments. True for you too, right? Is this the same for you too? This is like talking about like, hey, I heard this is what's happening in our area. Is that true for you? Is that affecting you at all? And just opens a very smooth, casual conversation. And majority of the time, they're like, oh, I did not even realize it. How is it helping other people out? Or how I didn't or yeah, I've heard about it. It hasn't really affected us much, but how's it looking at for you? Do you run a gym yourself? Do you run a law firm yourself? And it just creates a nice conversation where they ask a question back. So that's number 2. Number 3, this one requires social proof, is the peer insights and relevance check. This message is a great one when you have, again, case studies and social proof. Just really going at it and just saying, hey, we're working with 3 companies in your space or 3 companies similar to your law firm on their LinkedIn outbound with AI. I was curious if it was worth sharing what's working. And majority of the time, people will just simply say, yeah, I'm curious to learn what you're doing. Or yeah, what is it that you do? Or what's working? And then that's where you can kind of brag and boast a little bit about your results and say like, yeah, we're getting people anywhere from 40 to 50 outbound appointments every single month without spending money on ads. And we do this through AI so that you don't have to talk to these people, but yet it sounds like yourself. Would it be worth a quick conversation over a phone call? Right. And that's where you book them in right there. So that's a really good one. Again, if you have case studies, really concise. Again, as you can see, these are like literally 1, if not 2 sentences long. All right. So let's go into a different one. This one's actually on the flip side, a longer one. It's kind of what I call the email style. So if you're sending emails and using Sales Navigator, and again, sending emails that are tied to people's LinkedIn, this is a great one where you can say, this is a potential partnership message like, hey, name, wanted to reach out because I help you, help real law firms like yourself get blank, 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 where law firms, struggle with this problem, or, with any law firm that struggles with this problem. Given your experience at company or seeing that you're a CEO at blank company, I'd like to collaborate and see if there's a potential, if there's potential for a partnership. And then you just kind of play it off and say, hey, no pressure if it's not a fit. Just let me know if this sounds interesting and I'll send more info, your name. And that really just a quick, hey, I'm curious to learn more, or yeah, I'd like to learn more about what you do. And then that's where you can share a little bit more info again, and then pitch the conversation over to a phone call or a Zoom call. Okay. So I really like this one. It's still not salesy. It's really just saying, hey, I do this. It's kind of like a business event where it's like, I do this. I saw that you do this. I would love to see if we can work together or help similar people like yourself. And LinkedIn is really good for, just straight pitching, but try not to sound too salesy. And then this one works very well if you're going after, say, real estate agents, consultants, people who you might find under a certain firm. So lawyers themselves, if they're working under an attorney or under a firm. So this is a great one where it's basically asking if you're the best person. It's like, hey, I know this is random, Marcus, but you seem like the best person to reach out about this, about this. Given your experience at XYZ firm, I'd like to collaborate and see if there's a potential for a partnership. And that's it. You don't want to actually talk about your service. Let them figure out first off, am I the right person? And I've had at times where consultants say, hey, I'm not the head honcho here. I'm not the decision maker here. It's actually Nick, our VP, or Nick, our president. Here's his LinkedIn, right? Or they might say, hey, yeah, I work for this company, but I'd love to know more about what you do. And then again, I do the same thing like the other messages. I tell them a little bit more and pitch a quick conversation over this week. Okay. So this is a great one to kind of see if they're under the a certain brokerage or firm, but if they can, make decisions on their end, that's great. If not, then they'll point you towards the VP or the president. All right, and then I want to share the last one here. Do I have it? Where is it? It's gone. Let me find it real quick. All right, I do not know where it went, but I just copied and pasted this one. This is the one I was looking for anyways. So Mario, that's the prospect. I just say, curious if you have the capacity for an increase in consulting clients, wondering if Integra is a good fit for a partnership. And so it's really just, again, kind of like the first one, just really concise and having that curiosity to see if they're able to take on more, in this case, consulting clients, and just seeing if there's a potential partnership with the company. And you'd be surprised. A lot of people just say, hey, I'd love to see if there's synergy, or I'd love to see if we can work together. They might ask for more information, and great. The next message I'm going to share is how I helped them get more clients for consulting. But this is another great one. Sorry, I couldn't find it and make it clean as the other ones, but that one has worked very well. Highly recommend trying it out. But these really have been the top 6 messages. Now, my last fair thoughts and warnings to you is make variations of these. Don't try to just copy it word for word. You can in the beginning, but start A/B testing it, right? Whether it be the subject line, if you're doing in-mails, maybe adding a different line and saying, we're sharing what works. Say, would you be opposed to hopping on a call, right? Switching up the wording and seeing which gets more replies, okay? The other thing is give it enough tests, right? You got to send 200 connections a week. For each different test, A/B test, you want to have roughly 100 to 200 messages before you say, oh, that doesn't work, right? If you give it like only 10 to 30, that's not fair. Give it enough sample size to really make that decision. And then likewise, with that all said, keep track of your data. You can use a simple Google Sheet to track, how many replies you're getting, and then just keep track of which opening line you used, okay? So I hope this helped. If you want to see how I've been able to book other people, I have this great video. It's a very tactful video about how people mistakenly send calendar links to their prospects who are interested. Don't do that. You want to send them manually your time. So I'll have the whole video about this. Go ahead and check that out right here. Otherwise, stay in tune. If you like this, comment below what your favorite message was that you're going to start leveraging. And if you want more videos, just like and subscribe. I'm come out with videos as much as 3 times a week to help you get more clients and scale your business through LinkedIn. So hopefully this helps. I'll see you around. Peace.